All right, guys. I had a few people contacting me, sending me messages that they needed some additional notes for the two-step equations and triangles. So these questions are a little bit harder. They are more challenging. It covers a few concepts that we've done in class, combining like terms, writing equations, solving two-step equations. And like this one right here, it's in your practice, the questions that I sent you. So it's several different things that we're doing. So I have 5 examples total. I'm going to post my paper, a blank version of my paper. So if you want to do it with me, feel free to do it with me. If not, if you want a copy of my notes that are filled in, let me know if you think that would be beneficial for you, and I will post my version of the notes. I'll take a picture and I'll just post it to Google Classroom too if you want those. All right? Okay, so starting with this first set of notes. So we have our 3 angles in the triangle. One of them is unknown. We have 2 that are known. And we have a little expression also in the corner. So the first thing we know for sure, all those angles equal to 180 degrees. So what you have to do first is combine all of your like terms. So if you want to, you can write a long equation if you want. So 7x plus 7 plus 110 plus 14. That's really your equation. This long equation is equal to 180. But you really just have to combine the like terms first. So if we combine our constants, which are positive 14, positive 110, and positive 7. So all of those are positive, so you're just going to add them all together. So first, 7 and 14, that would be 21. And then 21 plus 110. So 21, that would be 131. So that's your constant. So you're going to put 131, and it's a positive. And then you're just going to bring your 7x over. So this is your two-step equation right here. 7x plus 131 is equal to 180. Now you're going to try and isolate the x. So the only way you're going to do that is you're going to work whatever number is furthest from the x first. So remember, we would put this line to isolate the x. So you're going to subtract. That pen isn't working for me. So subtract 131 from itself to cancel it. 131 from 180. Borrow, that's a 7. 10 minus 1 is 9. 7 minus 3 is 4. And then 1 minus 1, 0. So now I'm going to bring down my equal sign, bring down my 7x, and then isolate the x. So this is 7 times something is equal to 49. So you're going to divide by 7 to cancel out the 7. 49 divided by 7, x would be equal to 7. So that's just x. On those problems I sent you, some you're solving for just x. Some it's asking, well, what is this angle specifically? If it asks you that, then you need to solve for x first. And once you get x, then you can plug this into the equation or the expression that's here. So if I wanted to figure out that missing angle, I could plug it in already. Or I could even say, well, let me just add those 2 and then subtract it from 180. That's another way that we could solve this problem, but I wanted to show you combining the like terms. Okay? All right, so this second one, if you combine your like terms again, I'm going to set it equal to 180. Combine your x's. You have positive 5x, positive 4x. So together, 5 and 4, 9 total, so 9x. And then this is a positive 72, so I'm going to put plus 72 degrees is equal to 180. So you want to isolate the x, so you need to get rid of the constant first. So do the opposite, subtract it from itself. Minus 72 from 180. So 10 minus 2 is 8, and 0 and 1, and 9 times something is equal to 108. So 9 times something, so you would divide it to isolate the x, and x is equal to 12. So on some of those problems, if it asks specifically what is this angle, you would just do, well, 5 times 12 is what number? 4 times 12 is what number? And you could get both of those angles already if you just substitute the x for whatever you have. Okay, so for sure, x is 12. And then you would just substitute it if you're trying to find that missing angle. Okay, now this one is one of the ones that I know was more challenging on your practice. So this is an extra step involved. So not only do you have these expressions in the angles, you also have a set of supplementary angles. So the first thing that you have to do is find this angle first. So in order to do this, well, these two angles equal to 180. So something plus 116 equals to 180. So the only way to get that is to do your 180 minus 116. 10 minus 6, 4, 7 minus 1, 6. So now I know this angle is 64, so I'm going to put 64 right here. Now I have one angle for sure, but then I also have these two expressions. Now you got to combine all of those like terms now. So if you want to write a long equation, you can. I don't know if that makes it easier or harder. I'm going to write a long equation just so you could see what I'm doing. So I'm going to write my 2x plus 4, and I'm going to write plus 3x minus 13 plus 64 is equal to 180. And now you're going to combine all those like terms now. So you're going to combine your constants. So all of those numbers that are by themselves. So positive 64, negative 13, and positive 4. Those three are your constants. So if you want to add the two positives together first, you could do that. So 64 plus 4 would be 68. And then you have a negative 13, so you're going to subtract the 13 from the 68. So this would be 5. Oh, actually, I don't even need to borrow there. What am I doing? So 8 minus 3 is 5. 6 minus 1 is 5. So all those constants equal to 55. Then you are going to combine all of your x's. So you have positive 3x and you have positive 2x for a total of 3 and 2 is 5. So 5x plus 55 is equal to 180. Then you solve your two-step. Subtract, cancel, subtract your 55 from 180. So this would be 7, 10, 10 minus 5, 5, 7 minus 5, 2, and drop your 1. Then you bring down your 5x. So 5 times something is equal to 125. So now you're going to divide by 5 to cancel. And 125 divided by 5. So 5 can go into 12 2 times. And then you get a 2 as a remainder. And then you bring down your 5. 5 can go into 25 5 times. All right, so that means x is 25. That's just x. If it's asking you for a, you're going to take the 25 and replace the x with 25. So you would do 3 times 25 minus 13 to figure out a. If it asks you for b, you're going to replace the x with 25 and then solve. So this would be 2 times 25 plus 4. And then you got to solve it, okay? So that's why this problem, there's a lot going on with it. Yeah, it is a harder problem. It covers a whole lot of concepts that we've gone over. And then we've got these two on the bottom here. So if you want to practice them real quick on your own, you can pause me, and then I'll go over them real quick. Okay? Okay, so 2x, 9x, 9x. So hopefully you combined like terms. Or you write a really long equation, because it was 2x plus 9x plus 9x plus 5 plus 5. Then you can combine those constants. So this would be plus 10. And then all of your x's 9 and 9 is 18, plus 2 is 20. 20x plus 10 is equal to 180. And then you would subtract the 10 because it's a constant. Subtract the 10. 180 minus 10, you should have 170. 20 times something is equal to 170. So the last step would be to do division. Divide by 20. So x is equal to, so you do 170 divided by 20. 20 can go into 170, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160. So that would be 8 times for 160. And then you're left with 10. And 20 can't go in there, so you're going to add a decimal, add a 0. But 20 can go into 100 5 times. So yeah, you get a decimal. Sometimes you're going to get a decimal, and that's fine. So x is 8 5/10. So you would do the same thing if it was asking you to find a missing angle. You would just take that 8.5 and plug it in here. So it would be 2 times 8.5 to find that missing angle. And then the same thing here. This is an isosceles, so that means those two sides are the same. These two angles are going to be the exact same measure. Okay? All right. The very, very last one, you combine your like terms. So if we do it inside the triangle, we've got 3 x's, 1 x, and another x. So 3, 4, 5 x's total. And then you have minus 1. You have plus 6. So 6 minus 1 is positive 5. So you're going to put plus 5 is equal to 180. Minus 5, minus 5. 180 minus 5 should get 175. And bring down your 5x. Divide by 5, because that's 5 times something equals to 175. Now 175 divided by 5. 5 can go into 17. 3 minus 15. 2, drop your 5. 5 times. So x is equal to 35. So like I said before, if you need to solve for one specific angle, you take the 35 and you plug it in for x. So this would be 3 times 35 to find this missing angle. If you were trying to find this angle, you would do 35 minus 1 to get this angle. All right? If you guys have any questions, then just email me or post a comment, because that's really helpful to me. If I know that what I'm providing for you, if I need to give you more, that's fine. You just got to let me know. All right? Okay, talk to you guys soon.